Hey, a Merry Christmas to you on this edition of Real Talk with Aaron and Steve. Merry Christmas, Aaron.
Merry Christmas to you, Steve. It's going to be a good one.
It is, we are well into our Christmas day, but we did not want to forget about you guys, our viewers, because we know you always tune in specifically at 6 o'clock on Mondays for this show. And you're not going to miss it on Christmas, we know, so...
We hope that this show is our gift to you. Merry Christmas to all of you out there in Steve Shetler Media Land. We hope it's been a good one for you. And a secret, we're going to let the cat out of the bag here. This episode was pre-recorded. So Christmas has not happened yet as of the time that we're talking here.
Yes.
So it's actually Tuesday before Christmas. And I want to talk about anxiety, Steve.
All right. Do you have anxiety? Do you have anxiety about Christmas?
As a matter of fact, Steve, yes, I do.
All right.
How about you? Do you have any anxiety about?
Not about Christmas, really. But, yeah, I think everybody has issues with anxiety a little bit here or there.
Yeah. Well, I want to tell you why the topic came up today.
Okay.
And it's because I had my classic anxiety dream.
Oh, no.
Yes.
You weren't, like, in your underwear in front of people, were you?
Well, I was in front of people. And I was fully clothed. But let me let our listeners in on my personal ongoing anxiety dream. Which
right.
I hadn't had for a long time, Steve.
Okay.
I thought maybe I had matured and grown past it. But
Must be something deep inside that is bothering you right now.
So let me tell you what my dream is. It's always basically the same thing. And I think by now our listeners are probably aware I'm a pastor at New Life Church up in Wellman, Iowa. And so public speaking is kind of a big part of my job.
Sure, yeah.
Not unlike your job.
Definitely.
So Steve and I are both often in front of a microphone, but I'm always in front of a crowd, or at least a small group. So my ongoing dream is that I'm getting ready to preach a sermon or lead a Bible study, and whether I'm in a living room or our church used to meet in a high school library, so in a library or auditorium or wherever it is, I'm getting ready to speak. And all of a sudden, the place fills up.
Which is a good thing.
Which is, yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
When you're a pastor, it's fun when people come and hear the message and get involved in their faith and connect with the family of God, right? So that's what you want.
Sure.
So that would seem like a good dream.
Yeah.
But then what happens is I get up to speak and I look down at my notes and either they're totally missing, or I've got 12 pages of notes and the pages are all in the wrong order and I can't figure it out. One time in the dream, I was in a large auditorium with a spotlight on the stage.
Okay.
And the spotlight moved away from me. And so I was standing there in the dark and I thought, well, this is awkward. So I walked over to stand in the spotlight, and then the spotlight switched back to the other side of the stage.
So it was going away and you were trying to keep up.
I'm trying to keep up, and maybe the guy running the spotlight didn't like me very much. I don't know. Steve, I don't know about you, but I like to be liked.
Yes. I'm a people person.
Yeah, we're both people, and we like people, and we like people to like us.
Yes.
So it did not feel good in my dream to have the spotlight guy not like me. Anyway, my point is, I have this recurring dream.
Okay.
Where I need to perform, and I want to bring a good message to people, and I am just here's the best one.
All right.
The best one was there was a crowd of people ready to hear me speak, and I was on the other side of a wall. So I'm standing like 8 inches away from a concrete block wall with the crowd on the other side. What is this? What is going on here?
Yeah.
So I had the dream again last night.
Okay.
And it's because we've got a big Christmas program at church coming up. We got the children's play. We got a big dinner afterwards with ham and turkey and all the stuff. So those of you who are listening, by the time you hear this the dinner will have already been eaten.
It was good.
We had pie and mashed potatoes, and if you weren't there, hey, come around next year. No, what's my point? I get anxious sometimes,
Yep.
and I don't think about it, because that's the thing about anxiety, Steve. Terror. What is terror? Terror is like if a bear would come out and start mauling you.
Sure.
You would feel terror. Horror is a different kind of fear. Horror is fear mixed with revulsion. So if a zombie was coming towards you, not only would you be afraid of having your brains eaten, there's something unnatural about the undead. But anxiety is this background fear that most of the time you can't even put your finger on.
Okay.
But you don't feel good.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I got to ask you, do you have a special personal anxiety dream?
I don't know if I have a specific dream. So yeah, I don't think so. Maybe, of course I watch too much TV every once in a while, and every once in a while, like in my dreams, there might be a tornado that pops up. Maybe that's kind of a anxiety dream, or maybe like a war or something like that going on. So maybe those are things that show my anxiety. Not obviously in the way that it is in the real world with tornadoes and war. But maybe that's the way my brain is telling me about anxiety.
Yeah. And can you are you actually afraid of tornadoes? Or
I used to be, but I'm not anymore. No, I'm one of those Iowans that goes out on the front porch when a tornado is coming. So no, I don't think I have an actual fear of tornadoes.
Yeah, I was out on the porch when the tornado went by Wellman this past summer. That's a good story. I'll just tell that, since we like stories here on Real Talk. My 17-year-old daughter Abby had never seen a tornado, and all of her friends had seen tornadoes, so she wanted to see a tornado. So we're sitting out on the front porch, and she asked after a while. The storm was pretty violent, right? We hadn't seen a funnel cloud, but she said, "So, should we go inside?" And I said, "I don't know. They say that you don't really have to go inside unless you hear a sound like a freight train." And then we sat there for about 20 seconds, and she says, "You mean like that sound?" And suddenly I realized we heard a sound like a rushing freight train. I was like, yeah, maybe we better go inside now. But we didn't. We actually stayed out, and then we saw the funnel cloud. So,
where were we?
What?
Anxiety.
Our minds were picked up by a tornado and carried off to Kansas, which gave me anxiety too. Yeah, I think most of us have some anxiety about our job performance or relationships, or maybe just the future, or what's going to happen, or am I doing the right things in life? So we've all got it. It'd be fun if we could get our listeners to post in the comments if you all out there have had weird anxiety dreams, or you just want to share. Maybe you've never had a place where you could tell other people, here's what I'm anxious about. Let us know in the comments, or ask us a question or something. But I'll tell you, Steve, what I do when I have my anxiety dream.
Okay.
I wake up and I say to myself, wow, I think I have some anxiety. And that right there helps.
Just admitting it out loud.
Admitting it out loud that I have some anxiety about something. I wouldn't have any trouble at all admitting I was afraid if a bear came out after me.
Yeah.
Or a tornado, or a war.
Yeah.
Like, those things are scary. But it's those vague, uneasy things that it can just really help to say it out loud and to identify it and say, I'm just afraid of screwing up in front of a crowd.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm afraid that people will come to hear what I have to say, and I'll just be like, bleh.
You know what my fear is? Since I've started this video thing, which about 4 months into it now, is whenever I go out and I pack up all my stuff and I'm going out to like a Keota basketball game, or I'm going up to Barnwired for my Iowa music showcase, or to Brothers Market for the sports section, is that things aren't going to work when I get there, or a cord isn't plugged in right, or one of the buttons that I push, or my microphones, like they weren't right before we started doing this today. My microphones weren't working correctly, and I don't know how to fix it. That's my anxiety with my job, is that technology isn't going to cooperate with me, and I'm not going to be able to fix it. So that's my fear. I'll throw it out there. I'm naming it right now.
Name it. And I'm going to guess that what you're really afraid of is that you're dumb.
Yeah. Yes, I'm dumb, and I don't want to let people down.
And because if you were smart, then you'd be able to fix the technology.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So we're just naming our anxieties today. Step number 2 is I like to just pray about it a little bit.
Sure.
And I think our next session, we're going to talk more about prayer.
Okay.
Because probably a lot of you out there, like me and Steve, and maybe you're horrified to hear a pastor admit that he doesn't know how to pray all the time. So I try to pray some kind of simple prayer about my anxiety. And step number 3 is I've just got to take some action.
Okay.
And I don't know what else to do about anxiety other than say what it is, pray about it, and see if I can move on. Kind of like you've just got to go over to Barnwired, don't you?
I do.
You have to go over to the high school and get set up for the game.
Yes.
And so that doesn't always make the fear go away, but that's just how we move forward.
You got to meet it head on.
There you go. Now I should say too, Steve, neither one of us is a clinical psychologist. Neither one of us is.
But
really,
I play one on TV.
We're maybe not qualified to talk about clinical anxiety, and so we just we encourage you to find professional help if you need that. But I think for those of us who are just kind of dealing with the low grade, ordinary, everyday anxiety, hopefully that's a helpful tip for you. So again, we would love it if you'd post a comment or a question or something in the comment section. I think I'll wrap up with this.
Okay.
Maybe the most crippling thing about anxiety is if I think I'm the only one. And then I feel weird and dumb. And that never helps. So if you've been feeling some low-grade anxiety, why not share that with somebody like us in the comment section? Hey, we're pulling for you. We hope you're having a great Christmas out there. Don't eat too much stuffing.
Don't eat any stuffing. Stuffing's horrible.
Hey, put that in the
stick
comments.
to it.
If you love stuffing, put that in the comments, and we'll make fun of you. And we'll pray for you. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Ho,
Oh.
ho.
Ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. We'll talk to you again next year.